Hello, and welcome to Japanese craft beer reviews. Today's beer comes from Nagano Prefecture, one of my favorite areas of Japan. And the beer in question is a new one from this brewery. It is called Olahu Crazy Hazy Joe. And we'll talk a little bit more about it in a second. But first, a little bit about Olahu beer. Olahu, and they do specify that it has the Uchan. You want to stop that? Okay, my cat is playing with the cord. They do use the exclamation mark after the O and the La, but not the Ho. So I guess it's O, La, Ho. And in any case, Olaho, apparently Olaho in the very local dialect means something like we. Now my cat wants something like we in the local dialect. And the brewery is in a town called Tomi City, and it is near Ueda. If you're looking at a map of Japan, and you find about 50 kilometers down south from Nagano City, which is the capital city, you will see Ueda, and just south of that, or near that, is Tomi City. And so they were founded in 1996, so they've been around, almost 30 years now. They're survivors of the first wave of craft beer in Japan. And they built a new brewery in 2020 and installed it in their restaurant. The area up there, it's higher in elevation and a little bit cooler than surrounding areas, so it's good for hop cultivation. They have a lot of sunshine, long days of sunshine, and kind of low rainfall and very good drainage in that area. On Rate Beer, I think there were 40 some beers listed from the brewery, which is not a lot considering they've been going for 27, 28 years. Untapped had 71 beers, and the average was 3.55 out of 5, which is pretty high. Okay, well, now let's take a look at this beer here, and it's called Crazy Hazy Joe, and this is a relatively new one. They released this in June of this year, so about a month and a half ago, and it's in their Captain Crow series. Captain Crow Pale Ale is probably their most popular beer, and it's one you might see most often if you go to, say, a Liquor Mountain chain of stores. It's called Captain Crow, and it used to be my go-to beer, definitely, but I don't see it as often as I did. And recently I saw this one in a Liquor Mountain. I thought I got to give it a try. It's a new one, and of course it is a hazy pale ale, or hazy IPA, I'm sorry, or New England IPA, but kind of low in alcohol, 5%. Don't know the IBUs. On Rate Beer, there was only one rating, and that was at 3.5 out of 5, and Untapped, 255 ratings when I checked, and the average is a little bit higher, 3.7. So, and it contains German malt and hops. They don't specify the hops, and also oats and lactose. And on the back it says good times artisanal beers brewed in Nagano Prefecture, which is really a wonderful place. You may know it from the Nagano Olympics, Winter Olympics. There's a lot of ski resorts in that area. And I was just reading recently, I have a kind of almanac of data from Japan for 2024, and one of the pages lists the prefectures with the highest percentage of foreign residents, and what was the name of the ski resort? Hakuba Ski Resort has over 10% foreign residents, and I think a lot of them are ski bums, people that have moved to the area for the great skiing there. So, okay, so this one costs 371 yen. In US dollar terms, that's $2.43, and in euros, €2.24. All right, so let's give this one a go here. Hazy Pale Ale. I guess every brewery has to make one now. I guess they first started coming out just about 10 years ago or so, and now they are the most popular style of beer in the world. Not my favorite, but still, a good one is a good one, no matter what. Okay, this one is definitely hazy. Let's take a look and put the light behind it. Okay, so quite hazy, you can't quite see through it, and that's what oats and lactose will do. All right, I wish I knew what hops they put into it. Ooh, okay. I'm guessing there's something like Mosaic. Perhaps Simcoe behind it. Only 5%, which is nice. Not, you know, it's not a smash mouth kind of beer. All right, so it does have the typical, what we say, juicy kind of hazy IPA aroma. Something like kind of spritzy and like nettles, or what do you say? Something like if you have, you know, press some rosemary between your fingers and you're smelling it from a distance. Something like that. Something greeny and citrusy and juicy. Okay, it is definitely in the hazy category. It has the light sweet juiciness. Something like a nice blend of watered down orange juice with some other sort of nondescript sort of fruit juice as well. Maybe apple juice and orange juice together, something like that. Okay, very tolerable. Yeah, I said it's not my favorite style, and it's true. But I can drink them, and a really good one is a, you know, a joy to have. But one problem is you generally don't want to drink more than one. And I know people have said that about hoppy IPAs as well. You know, that your palate kind of gets blown out by it, but I can drink hoppy IPAs, you know, more than one. And generally this, I don't want more than one. That said, this is a very pleasant beer. You might want to give it a go if you can find it. And my suggestion is the Liquor Mountain chain of stores. That's where I found this one. I haven't seen it elsewhere, but I'm sure it is in perhaps some department store, liquor stores, liquor shops, that kind of thing. So as far as I know, it's not exported. I'm sorry. You know, someone has recently said, you know, it's interesting to see beers that I have never seen here in the United States, and or there in the United States, and yeah, which is true. You know, a lot of the Japanese micros are simply never exported. You can find a few, but you know, most of them you can't. So if you're not in Japan, I'm sorry, but if you are in Japan, go give this one a look. Again, it's called Olahu Crazy Hazy Joe, and it's a hazy or New England IPA at 5%. Please do take care. Bye-bye.